Folks like to sign in. Do you want me to use the and I can help you can help me with that if you'd like. Reach out to everyone.
So sorry. Oh my God. Hey, you.
No.
Okay.
Let's Clara. Yeah, yeah. Designated fathers, or should I just make a call for yeah, whoever would like to help. No, no worries at all. We got you. Okay, got it. Alrighty. Well, welcome everyone. If you haven't signed in, please do so. And then find a comfy spot for yourself. And if anyone would like to help as a pallbearer, I need 6 people to come meet me at the back of the coach.
you like to help?
Yep.
Nancy.
We need one more.
I think Shira's the one.
Thank you.
I think it's just not.
It's just
How about you? Yeah. Lauren.
Two seats left, Shira? Yeah, are there two seats? So can I have some elders come sit? You don't need to be standing.
Mom, Dad.
I actually want to scan it with this thing.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Rabbi Karen Aviv. I'm Rabbinic Director of Judaism Your Way. And I want to thank you for being here on this very difficult and painful day. We are gathering here today for one of the most sacred tasks in Judaism. It's to remember and to mourn and to honor the life of a loved one, of Talia Braude. Mourning is such a terrible price that we pay for having the courage to love somebody so deeply. And I know from talking to many of you that Talia was loved fiercely by each of you. And when we gather together in all of our brokenheartedness, this is the way to show Talia just how much she was loved by participating in this mitzvah of burying her. Your presence here shows that fierce and tender love, care, and compassion for her. We're going to begin with an ancient song by Psalm 21. It's called Esa Einai. I lift my eyes to the mountains. I want to invite you to close your eyes if you feel comfortable. Maybe put a hand on your heart and call up memories of Talia as you listen to the feelings underneath the music and the words. Esa Einai el Heharim me'ayin yavo ezri. Esa Einai el Heharim me'ayin yavo ezri. Ezri me'im havaya Ose shamayim ba'aretz Ezri me'im havaya Ose shamayim ba'aretz. I lift my eyes up to the mountains. From where does my help come? I lift my eyes up to the mountains. From where does my help come? There's a poem by Laura Gilpin called Life and Death. Lorna, did you want to come up and read this?
Life and Death by Laura Gilpin. These things I know, how the living go on living, how the dead go on living with them, so that in a forest even a dead tree casts a shadow, and the leaves fall one by one, and the branches break in the wind, and the bark peels off slowly, and the trunk cracks, and the rain seeps in through the cracks. Trunk falls to the ground and the moss covers it. And in the spring, the rabbits find it and build their nest inside the dead tree, so that nothing is wasted in nature or in love.
When Diane and I met earlier this week to talk about this gathering, what Diane stressed to me is that Talia was a social justice activist. And so I've included a couple of activism texts that I think speak to the deepest values that she held. If I am not for myself, who will be for me? If I am only for myself, what am I? And if not now, when? From Hillel Pirkei Avot. I am responsible for the endless consequences of my acts because they happen in a world that I share and experience with others. I am responsible for the consequences of my acts because I do not disappear after I act. I also participate in a web of relationships. Put differently, my responsibility for the consequences of my own acts is a kind of collective responsibility that I now endure like any other fellow citizen. And I know that Talia had a deep commitment to racial justice, which I'll speak about in a second. And I thought that this quote by James Baldwin was resonant with how she lived her life. We are living in a world in which everybody and everything is interdependent. It is not white, this world. It is not black either. The future of this world depends on everyone in this room. I know that we're going to share memories later at Shira's house, but I just wanted to say a few words about Tali's life. I only met her 3 times, and I am sad that I did not meet her and get to know her more. She was an extraordinary human being, and she was really a mensch. She was a person of great integrity, humanitarianism, and compassion. Tali lived her life with a strong set of values. She knew who she was, she knew what mattered to her, and she was clear about what was most important in life. And whatever she did it with passion and commitment. Tali believed in the equality and the dignity of all people, and she believed in science. She raised Rian to believe that all people are the same, regardless of color, sexual orientation, age, appearance, and status. Tali lived her commitment to equity and diversity by living in a racially diverse neighborhood, sending Rian to public schools, and supporting a Black South African family's educational goals. She also worked hard for progressive causes, including participating in marches and demonstrations. Lorna told me that she once rented a U-Haul and collected street cats to get them neutered. She also worked at soup kitchens, taking Rian with her to show how to live out your values by your actions every day. From the times that I met Tali, the most recently at Break the Fast on Yom Kippur, I knew that she deeply believed in being authentic. For example, she thought that there was no need to dye gray hair, and she didn't think that a bald head needed to be covered by a wig. Her clarity of values and her commitment to living an authentic life contributed to the fact that she had a huge network of friends and chosen family, including the Single Mother by Choice group and the moms of all the Dibblings, the donor siblings in that group. She also loved to celebrate life with joy. I learned that she loved Thanksgiving and Friendsgiving. She loved Halloween and birthdays and Pie Day. I knew that she was a baker and that she loved to make fabulous birthday cakes and loved elaborate costumes. Diane shared with me that Tali loved the story of The Last Leaf by O. Henry. And in that short story, a woman is dying of pneumonia during a cold winter. She decides that she'll hold on until the last leaf falls from a vine of ivy outside her bedroom that she watches as the days go by. Her roommate visits their downstairs neighbor, an older, curmudgeonly, Yiddish-speaking male artist who secretly decides to paint an ivy leaf on the tenement wall to keep her alive. That one painted leaf is what helps her recover. But sadly, the painter catches pneumonia from painting in the cold all night, and he dies at the end of the story. After reading this, I wondered whether Tali resonated with the strength and the determination of the woman, or the compassion and kindness of her roommate, or the mitzvahs, the good deeds, the right action that her doctor displayed by taking care of her, or by the compassion and the deep care expressed by the curmudgeonly painter. What I know is true is that Tali embodied all of these qualities in how she lived, and she will be deeply missed by all those who loved her. There's a beautiful prayer in Judaism before we bury someone that we love. And it's called El Malei Rachamim, the one overflowing with compassion. The source of the universe overflowing with compassion, dwelling within and above and in every dimension. May we receive respite and comfort in our loss. May we experience a sense of indwelling presence, sacred and pure. Like the stars of the sky, may Tali's memory shine and endure. El Malay Rachamim, Shochem Bam Romi. El Malay Rachamim, Shochem Bam Romi. Chamtzei Menucha Nechona, Tachat al kanfei hashechina, Chamtzei Menucha Nechona, Tachat al kanfei hashechina, El Malay Rachamim, Shochem Bam Romi. El Malay Rachamim, Shochem Bam Romi. We're going to say Mourner's Kaddish. And Mourner's Kaddish talks all about lifting up the name that has no name. I just want to honor that it's a contradiction that Tali firmly believed that big guy in the sky, Elohim, God, sitting on a throne was a human construct, and that the Mourner's Kaddish lifts up all the names for that idea that has ultimately no name. And you'll find the Mourner's Kaddish on the cards that Joya is handing out, but it's also in your handout. One of the words for presence in the universe is Havaya, which means being and becoming, which implies no anthropomorphism. And one of the teachings I learned is that being and becoming is what we remember, that unfolding and that expansion and contraction in the universe that includes dying. I like to think of all of our ancestors standing on one end of the Grand Canyon, and we are saying Mourner's Kaddish to honor their memory. And if you listen closely in the silence, you might be able to hear them saying it back to you. And so now Tali is on the other side of the canyon, and we say Mourner's Kaddish together to honor everything that she gave to us in her lifetime. So if you're comfortable rising for Mourner's Kaddish, we'll say it together. Kaddish is about opening the window, not looking through the glass, but opening the window. The window of the heart, the window into not knowing. Opening the window on fear and love. Opening the window on time and space. Just that. Opening to the window to the moment that is just this. Opening the window to the name, the great name that has no name. Amen. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei rabah. Ve'alma v'yivrach yirutei v'yamliv malchutei. V'chayechon u'v'yomechon u'chayei l'chol beit Yisrael. Va'agala u'bizman kariv v'imru. Amen. Yehei shmei rabah mevorach ve'olam almei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh. V'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shmei d'kudsha v'yitu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata ta'amiran ve'alma v'imru. Amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav
הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ועל כל יושבי תבל ואימנו. Amen. So what we'll do now is we will lower Talia's body, and then I'm going to ask everyone who wishes to make a line over here or on the other side, actually on the other side. And it's a great mitzvah to scoop 3 shovels full of dirt as a way to honor and say goodbye. And there's a custom of turning the shovel upside down. And the idea is it makes it harder to actually get the dirt onto the shovel. And it's symbolic of the reluctance that we have to engage in this mitzvah of saying goodbye. So I'm going to ask the immediate family to come and in line first. Diane, the shovel is right over here. And then to have others line up.
everybody to be.